All right, this is the part two of my top 20 TV shows that only lasted 3 seasons or less within my collection. We left off with Friday the 13th series, I believe. Yes. So now we are getting into Invasion. This show ran from 2005 to 2006 and starred William Fichtner, Eddie Cibrian, Carrie Matchett, Lisa Sheridan, Tyler Rebane, Evan Peters, and Ashea Hines, and Alexis Zena. This has missing scenes invading the mind of Sean Cassidy, which Sean Cassidy created the show. This is a gag reel. This is a great show. I'm surprised it didn't go off to what it did. I mean, it lasted, how many episodes lasted? 19. Um, I guess it could have went on more. I guess it just didn't find a fan base, but I really enjoyed the show. There's how many discs are there? There's 6 discs. There's 22 episodes. Sorry, there was 22 episodes of this show, and I really found that it was interesting and well written show. I just wish that it had found its fan base and seen where it could have went on from there. But yeah, that's Invasion. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I recently just purchased this. This is a show from 1983, and this recently just came out in 2015, and as a complete series. That is Manimal, starring the late Simon McCorkindale and the beautiful Melody Anderson. You may remember her from Flash Gordon, and Michael D. Roberts. This has all 8 episodes. In an interview with the creator Glenn Larson, you may remember him as the creator of Knight Rider. It's got some biographies and an episode booklet. Now, the one thing that I found really interesting about this set is there is there is 3 discs on here, and there's I think 3 episodes on the first disc, 3 episodes on the second, and then 2 episodes on the third with extras. Now, what I really find interesting is the episode booklet. Now, mainly episodes booklets will tell you like, or they'll be inside the cover. They'll say like at the name of the episode, what the episode's about, when it aired, who wrote and directed it. Some of them do, but this one pretty much goes in total detail of the entire episode. So yeah, that right there is the pilot, and it actually goes on to the second page. That's the whole episode, pretty much told to you by reading this. So if you don't want to read you don't want to watch the show, you can just read it. And that goes for the second and the third and all the way to the 8th episode. But other than that, it's a really great little booklet to put in there with the show. Now, it didn't last. I remember watching it in 1983. It's crazy. That's 35 years ago. But I remember watching it and liking it, and I never saw it or show it again. I think it was like in the late 90s or mid 90s. Sci-Fi played a lot of shows that was in the 80s on their channel, which they don't do that anymore. Um, but I'm really happy that Shout Factory, Fabulous, and Hollywood Classics came out with this release, and I'm really enjoying to have this in my collection. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's definitely dated. Some of the special effects are not the greatest. It's basically where what's his name? Jonathan Chase can turn into any creature that he can. He changes into a panther. Mainly, he always changes to a panther, Black Panther. He's changed into a hawk. There's an episode where he changes into a snake. I mean, there's some great episodes in there. Great special guest stars. Robert Englund actually shows up on this show. So that's prior to them playing in Nightmare on Elm Street. That's Manimal. I really enjoy this show. Glad to have it in my collection. The next one is Moonlight. Now, I just did Forever Night. This is another cop vampire show, just like Forever Night, that came out in 2007. and lasted till 2008. There were only 16 episodes, and it actually won a People's Choice Award, which was surprising considering that the show only lasted one season. Um, it Alex O'Loughlin, who plays the vampire cop, the private eye cop in this, he went on to do Hawaii Five O, which is still on today. And I really enjoy this show. I just really surprised that it didn't hit big fan base. I mean, I think it hit a fan base after the show went off. It lasted what I say? It lasted 12 episodes, or what was it? No, it was 16 episodes, but it has a little episode guide booklet in here. There's 4 discs on here. I don't really know why that didn't go over well, but I guess nobody really was into vampire shows around that time, even though True Blood was around. But hey, I'm glad to have this in my collection, and it definitely should have lasted more than one season. Um, Next show is She Wolf of London, the complete series. Now, this was a British TV show that premiered in 1990 and lasted till 91. Um, a lot of channels put this known as Love and Curses, which is what it became after I think it was let me make sure. I think it was after the 14th episode. It changed to Love and Curses. And it only lasted how many episodes did it last? 20. It lasted 20 episodes, and there's 4 discs on here. Kate Hodge, who plays the She-Wolf, she really did a great performance as Randy Wallace. You may remember her from an episode of Fringe, or probably what you may remember her was Rapid Fire as Brandon Lee's love interest, and in Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 that she did prior to this. Um, and the professor that she studies with in England, Ian Matheson, played by Neil Dixon, who played in the Beowulf film. I really am very happy to have this in my collection. There's no special features, but to have this in my collection is really worth it. I kind of wish it had done another season to see where the show would have went, but it is what it is, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a great 20 episodes. Now, this one is a Mill Creek show that I didn't put in my last video because it wasn't a Stephen J. Cannell show, but this is the complete series of Space Rangers. Now, what really surprises me that they put this disc out is that it only lasted 6 episodes. And it has the star from Viper, Jeff Kate, Marjorie Monaghan, Jack McGee, Clint Howard, Linda Hunt, Kerry Hiroki Tagawa. It has some great cast. Now, the reason why I was curious about this is that when I bought it, it comes with 2 discs. Okay, so the first disc is the actual 1 through 6 episodes in episode order. The second disc is in chronological order, which means it's put in the order of how the story should have went. So it skips over some certain episodes, like the first disc it goes 1 through 6, and then in the second it comes in like chronological order. Certain episodes to all roundabout make sense. It's a great show. Really surprised that they put this out because there's a lot of other shows that didn't last more than 6 episodes, and they're still not out. But it's great to have this on DVD and to be in my collection. I just wish there would be other shows that in the past that definitely need to get a DVD release, whether it be Mill Creek, Shout Factory, Scream Factory, Lionsgate, Paramount, Sony, whatever. Some of these companies need to just put these out, and I can just name 3 off the top of my head. One is called Sidekicks, a TV show from 1986. Another one is called O'Hara, that played with Pat Morita from 1987. And the third show that I really enjoyed was The Wizard, that was from 1989, that starred the late David Rappaport. So anyway, I digress. This is a great show. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely interesting to watch 6 episodes. And the very first pilot episode has the legendary great Scream Queen from Friday the 13th 2, Amy Steele. All right, so now we're getting close to the end of this. This is the next I think this would be, if I was doing this in number order, this would be number 16, I think. But anyway, this is Swamp Thing the series. This is the show that was on USA from 1990 to 1993, and this is actually season one. This is first 22 episodes. This is actually season one and two that's in the set. So yeah, so you have season one, and then you have season two. Now the interesting fact about this is not in order as they went on TV. This is actually the in order that they were meant to be seen. So this is not the order that they released it on TV. They only did 72 episodes of the show. This is the first two seasons, and it stars Mark Lindsay Chapman, Dick Durock, who plays Swamp Thing, who played in the original Swamp Thing movie that the late Wes Craven directed, and he played in the 1989 Return of Swamp Thing film as well. And he also did, I believe he did the voice of the cartoon series that came out. Also starring Carell Myers and Carrie Woover, who also went on to play in Sliders. Now, Shout Factory did a really great thing of this. There's some interviews on here with the creator and Dick Durock. I also hear that they're coming out with a new streaming channel that's based from the DC's universe, and they're going to have the new Swamp Thing live action show. This is season three. It says volume two. This is the first half of season three. Now, volume three is the second half of season three. That is very hard to come by because I guess it didn't make as many copies or didn't sell very well. But this is the first 26 episodes of the 50 seasons from third season. There's no special features on here, but I'm glad to have this in my collection. If I would love to complete this series, and if anybody that knows where I can get a nice copy of this, leave it in the comments below. Volume 3. But I'm looking forward to seeing the new version as well. But I'm glad to have this because it definitely brings out some nostalgia to me because I remember watching this on USA Channel back in the 90s. Next show is another Mill Creek show. This is the Tour of Duty, the complete series, which is the 11 disc set. Yeah, I mean, I originally had the first season one on DVD, but this stars a bunch of stars: Terrence Knox, Kim Delaney, Kyle Chandler, Michael Madsen, Carl Weathers. That's a great show. If you like Vietnam shows, this is a great one to watch. And it also has Miguel Inez Jr. You may remember from Friday the 13th Part 5 and Return of the Living Dead. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad to have this. Only 58 episodes were produced. This was actually on CBS from 1987 to 1990, and yeah, I'm just now getting onto the second season of this, and it's still pretty good for me. A lot of people will always talk about how Mill Creek puts their discs like this. I've never had any issues with them. Any set I've gotten, I've never had any issues with the sleeves. I've got like Hunter, and I have Hunter like that. I have Silk Stockings like that. I've got Renegade, Pacific Blue, all like that. And I never had any issues with them. I guess maybe just certain. Um, the only thing I can say about this set is that when I purchased it, they did not have the final. What was it? Let me go back through here. It did not have the last 5 episodes of the first season. Luckily, I had the first season, so I just put those discs into here. But other than that, I'm really very happy to have this set. If you like Vietnam War shows, this is definitely one to check out. Now we've got 2 more after this. Now this is a show that was on syndication, and it definitely made Rob Stewart definitely a heartthrob for this time, and Caroline Dunn. Surprised she never really went on to anything. Caroline Dunn, when I show you the show, she actually played about 3 or 4 episodes of the TV series Friday the 13th series. But this is Tropical Heat, also known as Sweating Bullets. Tropical Heat was actually the version that they put on for the DVD, but the show, when it was on TV, was called Sweating Bullets. This lasted from, I believe, 1991 to 93. It only lasted 3 seasons. I know that there's a box set you can buy all 3 seasons for a certain price, but there's actually a good price if you buy it individually. This is out from a company called Tango Entertainment, which Tango Entertainment, I don't even think he does releases anymore. The only other release that I know they released was the complete series First and 10, which actually cuts a lot of the HBO nudity out in language. But this is a great show. I mean, if you like action films, action shows, and stuff like that, and different location and great photography and all that, this is a great show to check out. Um, I also have season 2 of this as well. I need to get season 3, and I will be complete on this. But this is a great action adventure show. Um, so yeah, if you haven't checked this out, it's definitely something you should check out. All right, so now we're getting down to the final 2. This would be considered 19. No, and not like I said in the last video, not in order, but this is V, the complete series, the 1984 to 85 television series that starred the beautiful Jane Badler, June Chadwick, Jennifer Cook from Friday the 13th 6, Mark Singer from the Beastmaster films, Faye Grant from Omen 4, Robert Englund before he did Nightmare on Elm Street series. Um, and yeah, and it's created by Kenneth Johnson, who we just talked about, who did the Alien Nation TV series. And this only lasted 19 episodes. Now I do know in like the 2007 or 8, they did a show called V, which was a new version of the show that lasted 2 seasons. But funny enough is it lasted 2 seasons, but only did 19 episodes, exactly the same as this, and this did 1 season. Now I know that the original of the series, origin of the series, I'm trying to say, came out from a TV movie in 1983, and then they did a sequel to that called V: The Final Battle, and then they did the TV series. So actually, in rationality, they've done, if you count the 2 TV movies, it actually did 21 episodes. But in reality, there's 19 episodes on this set, and I'm really happy to have this in my collection. Not sure about how much the price goes out nowadays for these, because certain shows that have been out a while go for a pretty good high price. But I'm sure you might find this on eBay or some other place for a pretty good price. But that's V. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It definitely deserved to be more than 1 season, as far as I'm concerned. Now, the last show I'm going to do in my top 20. This is War of the Worlds, the complete first season, the original TV series from 1988 to 89. They did a second season 89-90, and this is a great show. Sadly, Jared Martin, who plays the lead in this, actually passed away, but you haven't seen this, definitely check it out. Only did 2 seasons of this. Paramount released this just like they did the Friday 13th and Tales from the Dark Side. But this is War of the Worlds, a complete season 1, and I definitely need to get season 2. And so that is my top 20 in not particular order of TV shows within my collection that lasted 3 seasons or less. So if you have any comments below, leave them down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you want updates on other videos that I do, hit that bell. And I will check you next Sunday or Saturday with another review and another within my collection. Enjoy your week. I'll catch you later.